really starting to feel like fall this morning. Temperature dropped once again, middle of October. Big cold front and rainstorm came through yesterday. Now it's cooled off this morning. Pretty breezy, but the deer on their feet. Already saw 2 big mature does moving around. There's a lot of different bucks around. I've been willing to shoot actually probably 10 plus that are mature. Some of them are smaller scoring and just need to be taken out of the herd, but there's a lot of just big mature 5, 6 plus year old deer around, so I'm really fired up about that. There's one 10 point that is pretty high on my hit list. He was on the hit list last year. I never saw him in person, then ended up shooting my buck, so I stopped hunting here, but he's pretty nice. I'm guessing 6 at a minimum, maybe even 7 years old. It's getting to be that time that we all love as whitetail bow hunters, getting closer to their hut, and I'm fired up for some awesome whitetail action. Of me, so she was going back in the trees and then coming out, going back and coming out. Finally, the last time came out, gave me a broadside shot. I knew she was going to drop quite a bit because she was so on edge, so I held pretty low and she ducked right into it, hit just a smidge low, but pretty sure it's a hard shot, and I think she fell just right back there seconds after the shot. So quickly killing another doe. There's just too many does on this farm, so I'm trying to take a couple out and manage that. More meat in the freezer. That's what I'm talking about.
Here's the arrow right down below me. Really good blood trail, and she whipped around and went in the timber, and I think she's dead not too far away.
Well, she just made it about 30 yards out of the field, and that was it. Thankful for another beautiful morning bow hunting whitetails here in the Midwest.
We We've got a really nice clover lane that leads out to the Nebraska food plot to my east, and there's been a lot of mature bucks frequenting this area and a couple of them in daylight recently. I shot a doe here last year and it's just been a really good pinch point over the past couple of years. Hung this stand in this different tree so I have a better wind a couple months ago. Got a great view here. I can shoot a little bit more to my right as well, where there's quite a few trails from here to the creek bottom.
Me.
Got her. She dropped really fast. She went like 20 or 30 yards and fell over. So good to do some doe management. That's actually the first one I've killed on this particular farm this year.
Great blood in the arrow. She didn't make it anywhere. She died in about 5 seconds, as quick, clean as it gets.
Mission complete tonight. Another mature doe taken off the farm and helping out the herd balance. More meat in the freezer. That's what it's all about.
Back after it, took a couple days off when some really warm weather in the mid to high 80s came through, but it's cooled back down. Got a nice southeast breeze tonight, sitting over a really cool clover patch, one of my favorite spots on the farm to hunt. There's a really old buck that's been hitting this spot over the past few years. He's evaded us. We've never seen him in daylight in person before, but he's been all over this side of the farm, so we know he's living here along with a bunch of does. Super excited for tonight, back in the tree stand after about 5 days off. Yes, another one down. Hit her a little bit high. She wouldn't stop, and I didn't want to make too much noise and make her too alert because I knew she was going to duck, and she did duck quite a bit. So I ended up hitting just a little bit high, but I saw the exit hole complete pasture right through her. And it looked like a double lung, just higher double lung. I just heard some crashing down there in the trees right where she disappeared in the video. Probably 80 yards away, so I think she's done for. Sweet. Let's go get this doe while we have a little bit of light left.
Arrow's totally covered in blood right here where she was standing, zipped right through. The light had knocked and turned on, so I didn't see it sitting here, but just right where she was. So I'm going to follow up the blood trail and go get her. And there she is right there. Didn't make it too far at all.
I'm blessed to have more meat in the freezer yet again this evening. This is only the second doe I've actually taken off of this particular property, and I saw a lot more big mature does tonight, and I know there's a ton of them around, so I'm gonna keep after it in the next couple weeks, trying to get more, try to even out that buck to doe ratio, but You know, the weather's just about to turn and get really, really good coming into the end of October, 30-degree temperature drop in the next few days. It's gonna be the time of the year that we all dream of as bow hunters, late October, heading into November. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully catching up to some of these bucks that I've been after the past couple weeks. Just took a trip to the locker, picked up some deer meat from my first 2 does. This is green bologna, one of my favorites, and then a bunch of ground. So trying to fill the freezer up with all these does. But as far as the bucks go, you know, I showed all those bucks, and there's a lot of bucks that I'm after this year and just haven't seen any. The weather's been pretty warm when I've been out. We're about 5 days away from things just really starting to crank and turn on. A lot of bucks on camera that I'm after this year, and I'm super excited. Hopefully gonna connect on one of those in the next couple weeks.